knew. I was like, he ain't the one. He ain't the one. And I could let that go and kept moving. And I was very okay at that moment, just like I am today. I was like, either the next time I'm gonna do something is when I'm married, or I'm not gonna do nothing ever and just go to heaven and not do nothing at all. Hey guys, my name is Mahogany Hanger and welcome to my channel where I create all things what? Faith, fashion, and fun finds. And today's video was all about what? My faith. Okay, like I said, today's video is a faith-related video, and I'm really excited about this one because by the title, you can tell we are talking about my celibacy journey, okay? I have a one-pager here because I had to write things down and share with you guys, okay? And I love these videos when I watch them on YouTube because I feel like it is just so amazing to see other people on this journey as they honor God with their bodies and also their minds, because it is a purity journey as well. I just want to talk about my experience. So I have been celibate, for over 4 years, okay? Closer to 5 because we can't go back, okay? So I want to talk about that, and I just want to give you guys a little bit more information, okay? So go ahead and get comfortable, all right? I want to talk about the story time, just kind of how I even got to this point. So what I will say is I grew up in a Christian-based household. If you don't know what that is, we believe that God sent his son to die on the cross for our sins, and he rose on the third day. And that is just part of the journey. And I believe that God created the entire world and all things belong to him. And that is a little bit about like my faith. And I grew up going to church, being very active. My parents are very active. I knew from a very young age that we were supposed to keep our bodies for our husbands or our wives, depending on male or female. So yeah, so basically I knew that at a very young age. However, I will definitely say that this was not like a huge topic in my household growing up. And no bash to my parents or anything like that. I went to an amazing church. We did talk about it at church a little bit, but I definitely will say I knew from a young age, again, that I was supposed to save myself for my husband, and I did not. Okay, now without going too deep into it, I'm going to skip ahead some, okay? Maybe I'll do another testimonial video or a testimonial video about, that whole thing and my growing up in childhood and things like that. But we ain't here for that. We're here to talk about the celibacy and the lessons that I learned. So we're going to move forward, okay, to about 4 years back, over 4 years back. I had just got out of a relationship. My boyfriend at the time broke up with me. And at that time, as soon as I clicked that phone call, I immediately went into prayer. And I was just talking to God about it. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm tired. I've tried this before. I done went back and forth. And I know without a doubt, I'm supposed to save my body for my husband, or I'm not going to, do anything at all. So at that moment, I remember, y'all, I still remember to this day, just talking to God, very just like daddy-daughter conversation. And I'm just like, I just want to, be celibate now. And I was very okay at that moment, just like I am today. I was like, either the next time I'm gonna do something is when I'm married, or I'm not gonna do nothing ever and just go to heaven and not do nothing at all. Because if I don't get married, I'm not gonna do anything. And to this day, I still believe that, I'm still single. I'm not married. That means I'm still celibate. And again, if something happens and I'm not here and before I get married, I'm going to stay celibate. That's just what it is. Now, I want to go ahead and go in and talk about just some lessons that I learned and where I am now in my journey, okay? Because it is a journey. So the first lesson I will say is watch what you watch and listen to. Now, this is very important. I have been on a journey to not listening to like secular music and being very mindful of what I watch for a very long time, okay? Very long. And I will even say, even in that, just to give you guys a little snippet into that, how God honors like even that, how he's just so amazing. He's just such an amazing father. I remember when I first started like my journey of like, okay, I want to cut out secular music. God helped me with this. And I remember I had a friend that I was cool with, and he gave me a burnt CD, y'all. Yes, that's telling my age, but I don't care. He gave me a burnt CD at the time with different male Christian artists, because at the time I did not listen to any women artists. I just didn't. I really love people like artists like Raheem, Devon, Tank, D'Angelo, like Tyrese, like a lot of artists like that. At the time, I was really trying to do better with my music because that's just the space I was in, and I know I needed to be better. And so I was trying to be very strict on what I listened to. And so he gave me a burnt CD with like Deitrick Hatton, Molly Music. Who else was on there? Ty Tribbett. And I knew about these people, but not in depth because, like I told you guys, I grew up in a Christian household, so I knew about a lot of artists. It's just that at the time, I was like, okay, I really want to be in this journey. I really want to be better. And yeah, I remember really falling in love with Deitrick Hatton at that time, his music, really loving it at that time. And I remember at the church I was going to, randomly, they had a Deitrick Hatton concert. Like, y'all, I was like, God, I know you did this for me because I told you I wanted to like do better in this part of my life. And I was able to listen to this artist and really love them. And now I was able to go to a concert of Deitrick Hatton. Like, it was just so crazy. I had a couple of instances like that where I was really trying to hone in on like being right and being mindful of what I watch and what I listen to, and I would like grab onto an artist that I really, really like, and then bam, see them in concert. It happened twice. Like, that is just so cool. But I would definitely say when you're on your celibacy journey, you do not want to give like you don't want to give any advantages to like the devil. So basically, when I say that, I'm just saying, I know it may sound harsh or whatever, but be very mindful of what you watch and what you listen to. Now, I know different people have different things that bother them. And, I would personally say, even with me, like I try to be very mindful of what I watch. I typically cannot watch a lot of things, and I cannot watch a lot of things with a lot of people. What I mean is, like, if there are shows that I want to watch and it has things in it, my hands stay on that trigger on that remote because I'm fast forwarding it. I do it all the time. So if it's something new that like maybe somebody told me about and I'm with them and they want to watch it, I typically won't watch anything new around anybody unless it's like something that I know for a fact I'm not going to have my finger on that trigger, or I may just not watch it. I'm at that point now. For a while, it's a lot of stuff that I just did not watch. Now I'm at the point where I keep my finger on that trigger and I'm fast forwarding. Anything that I feel like it's about to be some kind of scene that I don't want to see, I'm fast forwarding it. Okay. And I will be honest with you guys and say, like, when it comes to music, I have definitely slacked sometimes. Like, I go through ups and downs, and right now I'm on a recovery journey because I spent too long, like the last month or two, listening to a lot of secular music, and I typically do not do that. So I was like, girl, you need to really back in. So even when I catch myself singing things, I try to stop and I'm reminded, and I try to only listen to like Christian music and like get all that out of my mind. The number 2 is stay humble and be wise. Okay. Now, what I will say is I have definitely dabbled in dating a little bit, not much, because I feel like the Lord hit me for a long time. I know that sounds crazy and I ain't trying to sound no kind of way, but I really feel like I was hidden. And the reason why I say I was hidden is because for a long time, nobody would approach me. Nobody would look my way. And then recently, in the last year, is when I finally like got noticed, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just makes sense. But you just never know. Like, even though I have been in this journey for 4 years, more than 4 years, I definitely got to be mindful and not of the situations I put myself in and the things that I do. Because again, I ain't trying to fall back and slip. I'm just not in that kind of business. I was talking to a guy very briefly, and I knew after we talked for about 3 to 4 weeks, just on the phone, FaceTime, call, chat. I met him through a mutual person, and we knew somebody that we both knew, like, had basically like put us together to try to date. It did not work out, but in that instance, and that was the first time that I really had started like actually like liking somebody, if that makes sense, after like the breakup and after going through my celibacy journey. And I knew right then, I said, oh, this is serious. You gotta be mindful. It depends on who you're with as well, because I was just like, things can easily escalate. 4 years, 4 minutes, it don't matter. Like, you have to be mindful of what you do and be wise in the situations, because I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, God, thank you for just showing me that even though me and that guy did not work out, and I know it wasn't gonna work out because we were on 2 different pages, it was just an eye opener to see like what this really is gonna be like when it comes to dating and being with somebody. Like how, like, because when now that I'm by myself and I'm celibate, it's nothing for me to be by myself. But baby, when somebody else is in the picture and you like them, and then that's naturally your body and just how things work and operate. And I am like a lovey-dovey person when it comes to my partner. Now in life, I'm not really like a hugger, a touch, or anything like that. But when it comes to the person that I'm interested in, I've always been like that. I'm very like lovey-dovey, touchy and all that stuff. And I'm just like, girl, boundaries, okay? Boundaries. The other lesson I will say is how you feel when you're ovulating is not a sin. Now, I have seen countless videos on social media about this, and it is so funny because it's so relatable. Like, the older you get when it comes to ovulation, how my body works, the way I be calling on God, I be like, help me, Father, because what I want to do, I can't do. Okay? What I'm thinking, help me not think it. Please, because it's hard out here. Okay? But yeah, all in all, that's just a little bit more about my journey. Again, I'm closer to 5 years, but I'm 4 years and some change. And it's just amazing, this journey. It has peaks and valleys in it, but I will say I'm so just grateful and thankful to God for keeping me. And now that, again, I feel like I'm being more seen now than ever before. I get the stares, I get the looks, because for a minute, I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I was like, am I not attractive? Like, does nobody see me? Like, or it would be very older men that will toss me. That's a whole nother video, child. Because if we gonna be honest, I feel like that's the ones who be looking at me the most. And I'm just kind of like, why is it never anybody my age? However, like I said, now that it has been like in the last, I guess, year is like, okay, I'm like, okay, so I'm, they see me. I'm not invisible. I'm not blocked. I'm not hidden anymore. But baby, yes. So yeah, that's a little bit about my journey. I want to tell you a little bit. I know it was kind of all over the place, but I wanted to give you guys some lessons. Again, be mindful of what you listen to, what you watch. Just stay humble. When I say that, I mean it. Like, I know it is so easy for us to, like, when we do something on a routine basis for so long, you can kind of start smelling your own stuff, and you can kind of think, oh, I got this. No, okay. When I was dating that dude, I was like, oh, I see how quickly things can escalate. Okay. Boundaries are important, and who you date is important. If we're going to talk about dating just a little bit, I'm going to talk about this just a little bit when it comes to, again, just dating and just being approached, and the whole thing when it comes to like guys, you look at it so differently than you did when you were active. I would say, like, it's just different. It is so different. You're more observant. You like, okay, I ain't letting nobody come up here and mess up with me and God done built. Like, I need to check you out from A to Z. I need to see what you own. I can read right through you. Like, if there was another guy that I was talking to very briefly, and the way I talked to him for a good 24 to 48 hours, and then I was very observant. Everything that he said, I listened to everything and picked it apart and talked to God about it. And I knew, I was like, he ain't the one. And I could let that go and kept moving. Okay, so it is different. And so again, I'm not dating right now. I did dabbled a little bit here and there, but I'm just curious to see what it's really like with somebody who is a man of God and that I'm really, really interested in, and it'll last longer than a month. Okay, I'll have to report back on the later day. Okay, bye y'all.